Glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations. Much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This is your brother Chayan Apash coming at you with another lesson. This lesson is going to be entitled Another Reason to Stay Away from Dracula's Laboratory. And, you should know what I mean when I say that. Because, we've seen in recent time, Salakia, we've seen in recent times a lot of brothers, a few brothers have went to the spirit world and not just brothers, we see maybe even a lot of family members have went to the spirit realm as well, and after going to, Dracula's laboratory. So we're in a time of not leaning upon Esau's shit, but leaning upon Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, because we're getting to the time where great healing is going to come. The Lord is going to show miracles. The Lord gave brothers, knowledge of the herbs and things of that nature for a reason. And Salakia. And I was watching, Salakia, I was watching this video from the elder Mawatazak, and this is going into the racism within, this institution, okay? And, a lot of brothers already knew this, you should have known this, that this is what goes on in these places. They showed you that even in the C-19, they were talking about how certain of them jakes would go in there and they wouldn't come out. They would go in there good, and then they would put them on those particular machines, and all of a sudden they would be through. Showing you can't trust in these devils, right? And this is further proof. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read this scripture first. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Okay, so it says to never trust your enemy. All right. How much more with things that are, pertain to your well-being? It says, "Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away." Like, for example, if you go into, one of them places and you got, your wife is in there, maybe she's pregnant or whatever the case may be. It's a good idea to be watching over her and watch what the hell these devils are doing, because they don't care about Jake. They don't care, they're not there to promote life. First of all, even the way that the woman lays on the bed, that's contrary to the way it's supposed to be when someone's giving birth. She's really supposed to be more in a squat type position, aiming downward so the baby could naturally fall, See, that's how they did it back in the day with the ancient midwives, but they don't do it that way. Okay? You see? Everything is a C-section, And most of the time they're doing that, and it's unnecessary. It says, "Set him not by thee." Listen, if the Most High don't want the baby to come out, will it come out? It won't come out. If the Most High want the baby to be stillborn, it'll be stillborn. But if the Most High wants the baby to live, it's gonna live. You understand? If the Most High wants the baby to live, it's going to live. Don't let Esau, oh my goodness, it's dying, it's choking. If it's choking, if the Most High is putting it to death in the womb, what can you do? Realistically, if the Most High is putting the child to death in the womb, what the hell can you do? You can't do nothing anyway. I don't care what you do. And Esau is going to save him. Yeah, we're going to save. No, man. That's just opening. That's just, first of all, it's an unnatural way. And the child's missing something from not coming through the birth canal. Its spine is not in place properly. It's different things, different nutrients. So So at the end of the day, Salakia, man. At the end of the day, you know, this devil's way is not the right way. Okay? Let me read verse 11. Salakia, it says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass. Right? And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. Meaning he's that same wicked man that he was even going back to the time of slavery. Esau is no different. Esau is no different. All right? He has not changed. Okay? So it says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Remember, these Edomites, they would they would be firefighters and stuff like that, and they would watch you Jakes burn, whether it was even when there's children in there, they would watch you Jakes burn in the building and just leave you to burn. That's some different level of hatred, right? So why you want to be under some goddamn anesthesia and have the devil just do what the hell he wants to do with you, you know? Have his way with you. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, fuck. Listen, man, you understand what I'm saying? If anything, you know, shit, you know, you want a brother there to, you know, to watch what's going on, man. And really, you should be avoiding that place at all cost. At all costs, you should avoid these devils, man. Okay? It says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts, right? Because you're dealing with a serpent, man. All right? You're dealing with a serpent. All right? I don't know if I finished 12. Let me read 12 again one more time. It says, set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? And Esau is clearly a serpent. All right? He's clearly a serpent. So let's go back to this video of the elder Mawatizak. Let's play this. Let me see what the brother's saying something. Okay, it's the Shalom Ak. This is GMS in his likeness. It says, Job 13:4. It says, but ye are forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. And that's Esau Edom especially, man. Okay? Because he's not here to help. You know, his way is really the way of witchcraft. And it shows you that within the system, the logo that it has it goes back to the Sadducees, you know. So how you gonna? What's the point of trusting him? If the Most High wants to restore somebody, he don't need Esau's bullshit. In reality, man. You know, in reality, man. Like I said, if you get shot, you know, you get stabbed or something like that, it's common sense. You're going to go to the fastest route to stop the bleeding and, to disinfect, take out the bullet. Of course, you go to Esau for that, right? But other than that, you know, and it's not that you're going to Esau. I don't want to say it like that, like you're trusting in Esau. It's just that Esau has the tools to do that. And, you know what I'm saying? This is not a, a Steven Seagal movie. Yeah, he's bleeding out. He pull out the bullet. You know, it doesn't work like that in real life. So yeah, you're gonna go to the place to get it taken out or whatever the case may be. Right? Those situations are exceptions. Right? But to trust in this devil, that's not the way, man. Okay? You know, the Lord can heal you, man. This is GMS in his likeness. It says, yes, I won't even say that word. The DOCs are often paid more for, right, those sections. Yep, that's correct. They get extra money for the sections. That's why they always do it. Then for vaginal deliveries, this difference in reimbursement, along with other factors, can contribute to higher section rates. You see? The total average, and I'm reading in code on purpose, the total average payment for a section is nearly 50% higher, golly, than for vaginal births, not including associated costs. So this is a wicked, evil society, and it's conducive to wickedness. It allows wickedness to flourish. Why are they paying them so much more to do these things? Of course they're gonna do it, right? And it ends up negatively affecting the child. So, anyways, let's listen to this, man. Salakia. So let's listen to this.
A story that I've thought about sharing a gazillion times since I've been on social media. I think today's the day. So I was in medical school from 1996 to 2000. When I was in my third year OB rotation, back then, all the patients delivered in the OR. Vaginal delivery, C-sections, they all delivered in the OR. And I remember going back for a delivery. Black patient. This is her fourth or fifth delivery. Delivered seamlessly, not an issue. And I remember it was me, the faculty, and a resident. Don't remember what year the resident was. Doesn't really matter. But after the patient delivered, the faculty looked at the resident and said, "Have you repaired a 4th degree laceration yet?" And the resident said no. So, so the faculty.
You can tell it's choking her up, all right? Because this ain't just the only story she has. I'm sure she has tons of stories on how Jake gets treated when they get into this man's healthcare system. All right? He's weaponized health against us. All right? He claimed that he's there for our health, to be in good health, but really he's the damn devil.
That's right.
All right? So what she said, the faculty and the resident, and she was basically in training. All right? She was basically back there to look on, so to speak, and, see how a baby's delivered. The faculty asked her, or not her, but the resident, have they ever repaired a laceration? Basically, when a woman tears. Okay? Now, you heard her say first, she gave birth, it was no problem. The birth was already done. All right? She more than likely, she had to be numb down there. All right? So let's listen to what she say happens. As you can see, she was getting choked up. She had to, get herself together.
Pair of scissors. Okay, the faculty got a pair of scissors, and he put...
I'm going to back it up a little bit.
So, the faculty got a pair of scissors. Okay, the faculty got a pair of scissors, and he put one blade in the vagina and one blade in the rectum, and he cut. He cut a 4th degree in a patient who had already delivered. Now, I was a medical student.
He cut her from her rooter to her tutor.
See, that's why we call this place Dracula's laboratory. These are mad. Esau's a mad scientist, man. Okay, he's a mad scientist. When you go in that place, you feel the vibration of death. If you're perceptive spiritually, you can feel the vibration of death. What does the scripture say about Esau? Edom. Okay. So that's the last place I'll be trying to go if I'm feeling away. That's the last place I want to end up. Okay, this is Habakkuk 2 in verse 4. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." Okay, faith don't mean trusting in Esau, man. Scripture says Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. F Esau, F what Esau got going on. You know, first and foremost, we pray to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's who we trust in. All right? That's who we trust in. We don't trust in Esau, Edom. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. He's as death. If he's as death, how the hell can he be for life? How the hell can you go to this man for life if he's as death? Shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. And another thing, there's examples in the scriptures. There's one dude, one king who trusted in the physicians instead of the Most High. Matter of fact, let me look at that. And they were, guess what? They were doing the natural thing. They were dealing with the herbs, and the Most High still killed him, man. Right, this is it right here. 2 Chronicles 16 and verse 12. It says, and Asa in the 39th year of his reign was diseased, I'll say it like that, in his feet, until his disease was exceeding great. Yet in his disease he sought not to Yahweh, but to the physicians. And these were the real physicians. These ain't them physicians of today when you go to Esau's laboratory, man. Okay, when you go to Dracula's laboratory, we're talking about real physicians who deal with real, things that can really restore you. All right, we're not dealing with Esau's madness. Okay, so this wasn't. Oh yeah, well, I did. Yeah, but I did. I went to this physician, but I didn't trust him. But that's not even the physician it's talking about. He's not talking about these demons. Okay, this was a real ancient physician. There's brothers that are true physicians that are really good with the herbs and whatnot. It said, and Asa slept with his fathers and died in the 140th year of his reign. Why did he die? Because he trusted in the physicians and not Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's why. All right. And there's another king who actually went to Baal. He actually went to Baal to be healed, man. You know what I'm saying? You understand? And the Most High, of course, the Most High took his ass out. All right. Well, when your family members, when they get messed up, who they praying to? Jesus, please, Jesus. Right? And what happens? Does that work? That doesn't work. That doesn't work. The Lord's not dealing with that name. Right? The Lord may keep that person alive because the Lord has a purpose to judge him later if he's not of the elect. But that calling upon that name, that ain't gonna bring no sort of healing to you at all. The names that will heal you is Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, and this is what we push. Okay, this is what we push.
All right. After the baby was delivered, she didn't tear, she didn't do none of that, so that he can train the resident on how to repair a laceration like that in case a pregnant woman tears because the baby's too big or whatever the case is. But in this case, this damn devil, all right, in his healthcare system, all right, because this goes on, man, all right, this type of shit happens. They don't give a fuck about so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans.
And we guess what? We heard the stories with the C-19. We heard the stories of them putting those things over putting them on the machine, and then all of a sudden the people deteriorating. Okay, we've heard this. We've heard about the racism of Esau during the C-19 and how Jake was perishing. You
get in this man's care, in his goddamn Frankenstein homes, which are hospitals.
Right.
And if you don't know what the hell's going on, they gon' you know, dupe your ass into getting things that you don't need. And I'm speaking from experience, okay?
Yeah, that's what they do. Because you'll find out, you know, which that's why I was, listen, man, I was, anyways, you find out, you might be talking to a family member, right? Like I was talking to a certain family member, say, yo, they're giving you that, now you need to wean off of that. Don't be, take these herbs, wean off of that. Don't be, because what happens is they start to take that, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, they got all these extra things that they have to take now, because the thing that they're giving them destroys something else in the body. Okay, and that's how it is, and that's how they stay profitable. Okay, it's a satanic, evil, wicked system. Okay. And then when that happens, I say, see, I told you, you got to wean off of that shit, because that shit is just going to lead to other things. Because at first it was just this, and then now your kidneys is not working. Now your liver is messed up. Nah, man, it ain't it. All right. And I've been in excruciating pain to the point where I had to, the pain was different, bro. From 1 to 10, it was a 10. Okay. Couldn't even piss properly. Every time I pissed, it felt like my ribs were breaking. I was all effed up, man. Couldn't walk, couldn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I was messed up, you know? And I was still, hey, guess what? I was still going to camp. I was still, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, I was still going to camp. I was still doing some of the work that I do. You know what I'm saying? So I was really, the Lord had me going into soldier mode to do what I had to do. You know? Basically, almost damn, crippled. One leg, one crutch, this, that, back messed up. You know? And certain times I was in camp by myself, and I believe one time there was an angel that pulled up. You know what I'm saying? To sit next to me at camp. So ultimately, man, man, F all that, man. Because I was on that IV, or what I was gonna say is I was on that IB, you know what I'm saying, I'm talking about the Profen, you know what I'm saying? And like I didn't want to take it, I was like, nah, fuck that. But then the pain was so deep, I couldn't even sleep, I couldn't even do nothing. I was like, yo, maybe I gotta try to take a little bit. When I started taking a little bit of that, I only took a little bit. I didn't even finish one thing, but one pack. I just only took a few, and it really helped. I mean, it completely dissolved it when it came to, feeling better. But then when it would come back worse. I'll say, this is a witchcraft. Okay? It will come back worse. And I'm like, nah, bro, nah. And to the point where you got to damn near run to it because it's coming back so aggressively. You see? And then after I start feeling the kidneys start feeling weird, I said, nah, I'm not dealing with this. No, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna have to soldier through that pain. And you know what? Through the spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai, I soldiered through it for whatever months, however long it was, and it gradually got better. But guess what? It wasn't getting better with that goddamn shit. Okay, all that was doing was masking the pain and making it where I was dependent upon it, and it was destroying something else. So if I didn't get off it, I truly believe I would have had another more severe problem. I truly believe that it would have led to another more severe problem by trusting in this man's bullshit. Okay? And then I believe this was when I stopped dealing with it. A demon came, the sleeping, a fly went into my face. Bam! I'm like, what the hell? Where the hell this fly came from? And then I look there, and I see like like in front of me, and I see like a little small demon. And at first, I felt he was on my shoulder. At first, I felt he was sitting on my shoulder, and then then he turned into a fly or whatever, controlled the fly, or whatever the hell he did, and the fly hit me in the face, and then I looked up, I was trying to sleep, and I see a little small demon there. So all of that goes back to demons. All of these things that you get, that goes back to demons. You know? So you're gonna go to a witch to remove these demons? Nah, man. Nah.
So he cut her. Now, if you ever seen a pair of those silver scissors, them heavy ass scissors with them sharp ass blades, all right, surgical scissors. This is what he did, man. He sliced and cut her from her rooter to her tutor while she was numb. Obvious, she had to be numb, and even out of it, legs up, you know, probably holding the child, you know.
I didn't know if that was what was done and that's how they train residents. I don't think it even computed with me what was happening and how wrong it was, obviously, until I got more training and became a resident myself and realized what had actually happened. There's a lot of things I have.
So it took you that long to realize that shit wasn't right. What do you think? People are what we call in French bricolage. This is not a cardboard project. You're just cutting things out, cutting things up, and let's do this. Let's cut that. This is human beings that you're dealing with. So how stupid can you know? Anyways, regardless, it doesn't matter what this Edomite says because you Edomites are going to have to pay. I don't care. I'm educating myself on racism. It doesn't matter. You Edomites are going to have to pay for everything that your people have done. And you're going to pay as a people group. Okay? So you can seek to please the poor all you want.
That we were made a party to because of the practices and obstetric abuses that were commonplace, and we couldn't say anything. We couldn't say anything. And although I will never know what it's like to be a black pregnant individual in this country.
Oh no, you're gonna know how it's like to be one of us. You're gonna know. You're gonna feel worse. You're gonna learn worse. Okay, because in the kingdom of heaven, right? When we get these Edomites, the Lord said we're gonna give unto them double. So you won't feel worse than what it feels like to be a so-called black person. Okay? Trust me, believe me.
I can educate myself and understand and teach and learn some more and bring awareness and do better as a physician and as someone who's teaching future physicians. So in many ways, I do treat my black patients differently because of what I know and I have learned. I've not experienced, but what I know and what I've learned has happened to them in healthcare since Joel Marion Sims. I make an active effort to make any situation I'm in a safe place for my black patient.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, the bottom line is you see what goes on over there. Okay? You see the stuff that goes on. These devils is not for you. Okay? So this is another reason to avoid Dracula's laboratory. Now, let me get one more scripture here. This is the hell? Oh boy, let's back up now. This is Isaiah 10 and verse 20. It says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, which is the elect, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them." Now, who smote us? The Edomites. Okay? And what does it mean to stay? It means to trust in. Okay? We shall no longer trust upon him that smote us, but shall stay upon the Yahweh of the Holy One of Israel in truth. And this is what we have to do, man. We have to stay and trust in Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, and to hell with Esau and his goddamn system, man. You know? I know there's situations that, you know, may feel scary or whatever the case may be. But F Esau, man. You know? F Esau, bro. Esau's a damn devil. Esau make the shit. Hey, like I said, you go into that place you got a vibration of death. If the Most High want to take us out, he's gonna take us out. There's nothing we can do. If the Most High is gonna take us out, there's nothing we can do. Okay? There's absolutely zero things that we can do if the Most High wants to take us out. But if the Most High wants to heal us, there ain't nothing Esau could do. Okay? So with that, Lord, this is edifying to the elect, and I'll say, Shalom.